On this episode, we're going to be talking about something that can be pretty tricky, and it's about growing a team. Here's the question that I have today. What are the biggest difficulties of managing a team? That's a pretty big question, because what you will find as you start to grow a team, or maybe you already have a team, is that there's a lot of difficulties in managing a team, because teams are full of people and people are full of problems, and every person brings a unique personality. That's a lot of P's: people, personalities, problems. Every person brings a unique personality to the scenario, and they bring their own past, and they bring their own history, and they bring their own experience. And when you put all that together, it's like putting ingredients in a soup. And every time you add an ingredient to a soup, it changes the flavor of the soup. And so when you add a team member to your team, it changes the flavor of your team. It changes the outcome of what your clients experience. It changes what it's like to work there, especially if you're a small business like us. And so what's the biggest difficulty in managing a team? I think I want everybody on the team to want it as much as I do. And I want them to love the company as much as I do. And what I have had to learn and accept over time is that will never be true. And that's a hard thing to wrap your head around, but the reality is you might like other people's kids, you might go play with them, you might be the best uncle ever, but it is not the same as being their father. And there's something about starting a business that you have a certain attachment to that thing that you cannot expect from other people. And so at some point, learning to manage a team requires realistic expectations. And what you have to learn and what you have to know is that at the beginning of that relationship, when that team member starts to work for you, they have their own dreams, they have their own hopes, they have their own desires. And your job as a leader is not to groom that person for your highest and best use. Great leaders know how to create other leaders, and sometimes those leaders are going to leave. They're going to go do other things. I've had people who have left and start other businesses, and I say that's great. I love the idea that someone along the way is going to go, you know what? I got my own dream and I'm going to go follow it, and thank you for giving me some tools, resources, and ideas along the way. Amazing. Now, it's still hard to replace that person. It's still hard to figure that out. That's part of leading. It's part of managing a team. But I think that's been one of the hardest things I've had to learn. One of the biggest difficulties over time is accepting that reality that ultimately it's not about me. It's about the team. It's about how I can nurture them for their growth. And also, I can't want it for them more than they want it. So just because you want somebody to be ambitious, you want some particular future for somebody else, if that's not their dream, if that's not what they want, you can't will it into them. And I think that is hard for me, because I want to be able to control those situations. And I think I have to be willing to step back, listen, and help guide the whole ship. So that's hard. It's tricky. Leadership's not easy, but if it was easy, everyone would do it. And certainly not everybody does it well. I don't do it well all the time either. But that's some stuff I'm still working on. I'm sure you're still working on it too. I'd love to hear from you. What is your biggest leadership challenge? What is the biggest challenge of building up and nurturing a team? What are you still working on? Leave it in the comments. I can't wait to hear how this helps you grow your business.